That's right. We're talking about Mohammed Ali Tahiri. He was adopted by the U.S. Commission on International Religious Freedom as part of its Prisoners of Conscience project. I'm joined by Commission Vice Chair Gail Manchin to explain. You know, Gail, you and I talked several years ago about Mr. Tahiri's case. At that point, it seemed very grim. He was actually sentenced to death twice, but now he's free. Tell us what happened.
Well, I am so thrilled to be back and be able to talk about this uplifting ending to this story. Mr. Tahiri was granted asylum in Canada, March the 8th, and actually is there with his family. And so that is the wonderful ending. But yes, he was arrested in 2011. He was sentenced to die both in 2017 and 2019. Even though the Iranian Supreme Court had overturned both of his convictions. So this was a very sad. Then in April 2019, he was released, but on house arrest with total government surveillance. And sometimes that can almost be a more scary situation than prison itself. So the fact that he was able to come out and gain asylum in Canada is a wonderful thing. But on the other flip side of that coin, there are still many of his faith community in Iran that are still in prison. And there are several that have been vetted and actually would be allowed to leave and come to this country. And so I encourage the White House, if we truly believe in religious freedom, then we need to be bringing these individuals that have been vetted and given permission to leave to be brought out safely.
Absolutely. Well, you and your fellow other 8 commissioners adopt prisoners of conscience as part of this program. Mr. Tahiri was one of your prisoners of conscience. Tell us about this program. What is the goal here?
Well, the goal is to give a voice and a face to people in countries all over the world that are imprisoned, tortured, mistreated in many different ways for no criminal intent, only because of their faith and their religious beliefs. And of course, as the Commission on International Religious Freedom, that is our mission, to advocate for that human right of freedom of religion for all people everywhere. We believe by giving a voice and a face to these individuals and heightening the awareness of them, we hope that it aids many times in hastening their release. And we encourage members of Congress to adopt prisoners of conscience as well. The more we can showcase these individuals, the more hope we have that they can be released. You know, one of the sad things, Jennifer, that we have found in being able to speak with some of these prisoners is that once they are imprisoned, they have this sense of hopelessness, like they will have been forgotten, that no one will know or remember that they are in prison. And so with our Prisoners of Conscience project, we give that voice and face, we give the story, we keep that victim alive in our country and across the globe in hopes that we can reunite them with their family and bring to light globally the injustice that are coming to so many people across the world for no other reason than their wish to observe their religious faith.
You have served on the commission for some time now. I wonder if you can share with us the power that this brings. I mean, when another country sees that people in the top levels of the United States government are paying attention to these prisoners, what kind of pressure does that put on them?
Well, I believe it puts a lot of pressure. We have found that countries really care what the United States thinks about them. And so the fact that we are showcasing people that they have imprisoned or detained or harassed, mistreated in some way, simply because of their faith, is a wake-up call. We believe to them, as we designate countries of particular concern or entities of particular concern, that really brings them up with a spotlight on them. And we hope that through that and through our advocacy and our recommendations to Congress and to the White House, that it gives hope to people that that basic human right of freedom of religion is important, and we should demand it from every country. And we hope that projects like this are certainly a way to bring attention to it across the globe and to the countries. And we believe that these leaders listen and watch and take notice of what we are paying attention to.
When I look at the journey that Mr. Tahiri was on through Iran's court system, and despite the relationship or lack thereof that the U.S. has with Iran, do you think that this project helped in his case?
You know, we certainly want to think so. We hope so. And our communication with his family, we were not able to communicate directly with him, but through our communication with his family, they certainly believed that what we were doing and bringing attention to his case and continuing to monitor and bring attention was extremely helpful. So we hope and would like to believe that we were a part of this happy ending.
Commission Vice Chair Gail Manchin, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for continuing to highlight the good and the bad things that are happening around our globe. It is so important, Jennifer, and we appreciate your focus on these countries and the injustices that people go through. So thank you very much.